Welcome back to Studio Expo. Now, if you're like me, during Expo 2020, you've been neglecting the stove and spending a lot of time eating out here at the world's greatest show, and quite frankly, wouldn't blame you, really.
Exactly, Lee. But when you do cook at home, buying oil from the supermarket can often be quite confusing, with the shelves of the cooking oil section often a crowded spot. Well, our next guest is here to make the case for palm oil. Let's welcome Mohammad Hafezh Abdul Rahman from the Malaysian Pavilion. Mohammad, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I try to cook every now and then when I have the chance, and generally my go-to is olive oil, because that's what they say is lightest, or at least that's what we've been told all this while, is the easiest and probably the healthiest option to cook with. But being South Indian, we also cook a lot with coconut oil. But you're here to make the case for palm oil. Tell us, how is that a more sustainable option?
Thank you. First of all, palm oil has got a lot of properties. I mean, on the nutritional side, you have all the important vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, K, all those fat-soluble, vitamin-soluble, which is soluble in fat. And then we have this, now we have tocotrienol, which is 10 times more potent than the normal tocopherol, which is what you call normal vitamin E. And that's what you got normally when you're using palm oil. And then, I mean, coming back also, even if you look at the fats property, scientifically it's been proven to be equally as good as olive oil, actually. So and then it is often used in, I think it is supplying to 1/3 of the global oils and fats supply. Without you realizing it, it is in everything, in your food, in your biscuits, in your shampoo and everything for energy generation. But the thing is, because of palm oil now is being too dominant in the, I would say, global oils and fat supply chain, it has garnered its criticism, especially on the deforestation side, where forests are being cut and things like that.
So we'll look at now about the processing for the palm oil. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here.
Actually, this is the industry. If you look at it, it is a tree on its own. It's a very big tree, and it's a perennial crop. I mean, its lifespan is 25 years, actually. So you don't need to harvest or cut it down every year. So there's already tons of GHG savings that you can do throughout its lifespan, I would say. And people always forgot, people always target on the environmental side, when they talk about sustainability. But they always, because they're always talking about because of the economic benefits. So we are neglecting the environment. But people always forget, if you look at the video just now, the social impact part, there are about more than 500,000 families relying on palm oil to give education and also feed their families in Malaysia and also other developing countries like Indonesia and Malaysia.
Well, I know over the last week or so that you've been trying to put the case down, and of course being part of the Certification Council for palm oil, sustainability is always, and palm oil has not had a good press in the West over the last, forever really. But I know you've done your job. You've seen that little video clip there and hopefully explained a lot more to people as well. The end of your conference has happened, so you've been here for that week. Do you think you've done the job you wanted to do?
Well, when we come here, there are a few missions that we wanted to do. One is, of course, try to tell people, the consumers, how sustainable palm oil is. And secondly, we are also targeting companies to subscribe to not only palm oil, but sustainable palm oil from Malaysia. So if you go through all the pavilions here, generally, they are all talking about sustainability. If you go to OECD countries, they are talking about responsible consumption. And if you go to other countries, they are talking about sustainable energy generation through wind and geothermal. So for Malaysia, because we are also relying on commodities like palm oil, timber, and things like that, we are focusing on how we change the process of developing this, being more sustainable for the global consumption. So that's what we are trying to push, this agenda here.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. We're running out of time. We've got lots to do. But thank you, and good luck with your challenge to convince the world it's the way to go.
I hope people will now start to read more on sustainable palm oil.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Both of you.
Now, another way the Malaysia Pavilion is championing sustainability